co-chairs, and members of NIREC supporters on this very auspicious occasion. I believe this interaction is very timely and also involved in various activities, operational activities, all aimed at bringing peace to the various parts of the country currently. The NIREC, of course, as constituted, is indeed a veritable tool for promoting peace and tranquility across the country. Given that it is interreligious council, it means that you hold the key to reaching out to every citizen of this country in the light of the fact that the two major faiths in the country are represented in the council. So for us as members of the armed forces, who of course are in one way or the other linked up to you, because we also belong to one faith or the other, and principally the faiths that are represented here. And because we're also Nigerians, what you feel is what we feel. We are tools of the government to implement policies, but principally to bring peace and progress to our dear nation. So as members of the armed forces who are currently leading the fight against every form of insecurity in the country, we believe that not only do we shoot guns, we equally have other means of bringing peace, which is of course this kind of interaction that I've come to have here today. So whilst welcoming you, I would like to say that we'll remain very open to get one or two pieces of advice and of course drawing our attention to areas where of course our people are hurting that you believe that we can do something about. So on that note, let me very humbly welcome you again and thank you for coming. As we go into interactive session, I believe that there will be quite a lot that we will take away from here. Once again, let me thank you for coming and God bless you all.
Today is another very special day for us as citizens of this great country, serving humanity in different capacities. This is the first time ever that a delegation like this of senior religious leaders representing the two major faiths ever paid a courtesy visit to any service chief. Not because we didn't want to, but because too many reasons, too many other issues had been coming up. NIREC, as you must have heard, which I thought the Secretary should have given you a 3-4 minutes brief, but I know as a senior military officers, you must have done your homework, Googled through and found out what was NIREC. That was set up purely by the leadership of the Christians and Muslims in this Nigeria. During my predecessor's time, when he was the president. So the two major religions voluntarily came together to put up this body as a platform for discussions, dialogue, to understand what the two major religions teach. We are not a government organ. We are not an NGO. If tomorrow we feel we no longer want to continue this meeting, we'll just pack up. Nobody will say why. But definitely, it's a body that had come to stay for this long. And when the Almighty Allah brought me here 15 years ago, I found it very, very important to reactivate it because it was almost dead. And today, alhamdulillah, we are much, much better, more informed about our other religions, closer to each other as Christians and Muslims, as leaders of the two major faiths. Last time I was in defense headquarters was about 16, 17 years ago. I was very impressed when I came in this afternoon and saw the changes, including this conference room. That means you'll be moving up. And I think it's something that we must commend the past leadership and the current leadership, and I urge you to improve on that. We're here just to show solidarity with our armed forces in what they have been doing for our great country. The sacrifices you have been putting up, denying yourself so many rights, so many privileges, so many comfort and whatever to serve this country. And we felt as religious leaders, besides praying for you every time in our churches and mosques, we need to come and identify with you physically for the whole world to know that yes, we are working with you. We believe in your capability to bring peace, stability to this country. And as your partners in progress, take us as partners that you can always reach out to whenever you feel something needs to be done and you feel we can contribute. So that's essentially the motive of coming here, to interact with you. There are certain things that, of course, we won't say publicly, but as one of you who spent 31 years of his life wearing this uniform, which all these civilians know. Bloody, I didn't say so, you added the one because of the color of the dress you are wearing. The camp president always pulls my leg because of his height, which I told him is almost the same height with the CDS. So maybe they have something in common somewhere. You know, I have been part of this nation's armed forces for 31 years as an 18th regular combatant officer of the one and only armored corps. Because like I used to tell them, there are only two corps in the army, armored corps and the rest. So I'm sure Lucky is, it doesn't belong to armored corps, it belongs to the other one.
Yes, sir.
So these distinguished members you are seeing, you are very close with one another. And we are honest with one another, and we tell ourselves the home truth. The power that be the truth. Whether it's bitter or sweet, we say it. Because we know that we must, when we get to our Creator, we must account for our deeds here. And that's why as religious leaders, we always try to tell the truth to our leaders, to guide them. And beside prayer, we also feel we can discuss some of the issues that maybe are burning issues. And you want to have a place where you can really say out all what's disturbing you. So we can reach everywhere. We can reach our people at the various services, whether Islamic or Christian. We can persuade our people to know that yes, these soldiers are there for you. Without you, there won't be their lives and comfort for you. You know that they deserve the best from you, and prayer and support. So that's why we felt that we have to come and pay this courtesy visit, which never happened before. And we want to assure you we are there for you. Just reach out to us at any time. We will be there to assist in whatever way you think we can. Most especially, you know, most people and trust their religious leaders more than they trust their political leaders. There are certain things they will tell us, they will not go and tell a general or even a colonel. So part of the things we hear from our followers, we can use that intelligence and reach out to the various military heads or political heads so as to have a common front, common ground to deal with any insecurity, insurgency, terrorism, or any other problem, be it economic or political. So I want to thank you for receiving us. Now allow my colleague to also say something. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best of tenure and God's blessing.
We appreciate your sacrifice on behalf of all of us. It's the highest price one can pay to show patriotism to the land of his birth. We are encouraging you by coming to let you know that you are not alone. And this battle cannot be won in the physical alone, but in the spiritual also. When you see those you who are fighting with you, who are fighting against the nation, when you see them fighting themselves, you know that that is beyond ordinary. Divine intervention is working. We believe that God is almighty and he rules in the affairs of men, and he can do all things. One of the things that we want you to be careful in concluding your action on is the Boko Haram elements that are surrendering. They cannot be easily trusted, because some of us that did sociology of criminology, we know that when you are addicted to crime, you are already fixated, and to come out of it, we need divine intervention. They came out to surrender because with the new weapon that you got, there was superior firepower, and they are seeing many of them dying without preparing for it. So they fear for their lives, and they surrender to escape the fire. But that may not guarantee that they may not go back into it. You try to de-radicalize them, but only God can touch the heart. So that's why we are with you in prayer, and don't rush into sending back into the society. We are advising the government, and this may come out from our communique, that government should consult widely before taking action on whether to grant them amnesty or not. Because a tree cannot make a forest. The decision they make is not for them alone, it's for all of us, and it should not be counterproductive. We want you to take the battle to these elements in their hideouts, especially if you have, His Eminence has participated in many peacekeeping efforts in so many nations. And you have credible record as dogged professionals. The Nigerian Army is respected all over the world. About 2 years ago, I was in Ivory Coast, and they were telling me about the miraculous intervention of the Nigerian Army in the affairs. And that the lady that was even driving the plane was a lady. The way she displayed professionalism was amazing. The Ivorians will never forget. So we know that you are competent, you are able, but why should this nuisance be giving you trouble? Take the battle. Whatsoever is hindering you from taking the battle to them in their hideouts, please put it behind you, because the nation is in your support to take the battle to them where they are hiding. Whether we don't want is beyond religion. It is beyond ethnicity. Criminality is criminality. And whoever is doing that is an enemy of the rest of us. We want to live our lives in peace. And if you cannot tell those in authority more things you need, you can whisper that into our own hearing, and we can go. Do these people have this? Do they have this? What is going to cost you? Make it available to them. We will not say that we have from you, that you are saying that you didn't have this or that. No, we wouldn't do that. But if you allow us to hear, we know how to carry that to them and tell them, especially the trust that my co-chairman that is a military expert. So if bloody civilians say it, they will respect his voice as far as that is concerned. Please don't let these people constitute another problem to you in the nearest future. Be very, very careful, circumspect in taking action about them, especially their leaders who are sold to criminality. For our law, it may also land us in trouble if they are just free like that, brought into the society. Then there will be no justification for prosecuting the armed robbers, the looters of treasuries, because crime is crime. So if one criminal cannot face the wrath of the law, the rest of the criminals cannot also face it. So this is why we should not complicate our problem, even if we mean that we continue to put them somewhere until substantially we have won the war before prosecuting them. That is still wisdom. But to rush into releasing them into the society may be very counterproductive. If I'm not mistaken, I read in the news one of these Boko Haram in the Northeast that was de-radicalized and released and later went ahead to kill his father, which means that the heart didn't change. They can deceive. They are also deceptive, very deceptive. So God will guide you in killing them, but you should not rush. And we have told the government, we are still going to tell the government to consult widely religious leaders, opinion leaders, the governors of the states where these insurgencies are very predominant, and also the victims, the surviving victims of the activities of these insurgents. All of us must agree that this is what we want to do so that we can own together our decision on the ones surrendering. Your life is very precious as the life of any other person, and our support for you in terms of if we have from our people, we make the information available. We are challenging the royal fathers who are leaders of the community, who are the troublemakers, to not cover them. Let them be made known and let the law enforcement agents undo them. We are praying with you, we are praying for you that very soon we will win this battle. But the entire nation is behind you. Thank you very much.
You are grateful for whatever favors I have bestowed on you. Be assured that I will give you even more. So we thank you for giving us the opportunity of interacting with our military leaders today, an opportunity that is very dear to us. We appreciate it, and so thank you. Therefore, we hope that you will continue to guide our military officers as well as our political officers and the religious leaders as well. Continue to protect us and give us victory over all these security challenges that we are facing in this country.
God our Father, we thank you for this wonderful moment, the moment of encounter between the NIREC and chief of the first staff and the service chiefs. We pray that you protect your people in this country. I will pray also that you bless the chief of the first staff, the chief of first staff, and the chief of member staff, that their efforts to curb criminality in this country will lead better fruits. I pray that by the grace of God, all of us will continue to live in peace and live in peaceful coexistence through Christ our Lord. Amen.